Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm not going to really be changing my background for this particular live. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. My first live went off at like 3:37 this morning. A lot going on. I went over, if you guys would like to go check it out, I did like an hour or something live over on my YouTube channel about the polygraph. You know, they apparently somebody has told Seth's mom, Robin, good morning ladies, happy Mother's Day weekend. I hope everybody's doing well. As you guys know, we're talking about Sebastian Rogers. He's the autistic 15-year-old boy that disappeared from Hendersonville, Tennessee, from his mother and stepfather's home and has not been seen since. And there's been a lot of speculation from all of us, right? A lot of speculation from all of us about the parents. Stuff doesn't sound right. Something's not right. So we smell this stuff a mile away. Period, point blank. No questions asked. We know that there is something that stinks to high heaven in this case, and we can't just put our fingers quite on it. But we know it has something to do with Chris and Katie. Why? Because they're the only ones that have been absent through this entire process. That's why. They've been absent through this entire process, but seen everywhere else, but searching for their child. So this is a recording that was on a live here on TikTok from one of the creators here, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name, and I apologize. Somebody sent me the live, but once the lives are over, they're over. You don't really see them again. And so somebody must have screen recorded this or screen captured this prior to it ending. So I wanted you guys to hear, because this is the spokesperson for for Seth Rogers, the biological father to Sebastian Rogers. And he's really, and just to give you guys some background, Seth has really tried to find his son. Boots on the ground, massive searches, continued searches for well over a month, every single day. He has tried and tried and tried to find his son. He has tried and tried and tried to get Katie and Chris to help. And so I think it's just gotten to a point in the case where something is seriously wrong. This is not a normal boy that just walked out of his home and never returned. He's never been seen or heard from since he walked into his home on Sunday, February 25th. There's no evidence that this boy has walked out of that home. So after all this, there's been a lot of hostility coming out. We just talked about it yesterday. Chris was on Web Sleuths, was very hostile to the host and to the guests on the panel. And we thought that would just be it. Well, it wasn't. Apparently, Chris called Heather, one of the prior investigators. I don't know if she from my understanding, Seth just told her to chill for a moment. And, I don't know if she's still considered his client, or he's still considered her client or not, or whatever. Either way, it appears that Chris reached out to Heather Cohen, and she recorded the conversation with Chris, and this was littered with profanity, calling the other investigator, Chloe, horrible names, very disgusting. And to think that Katie was laying right next to him while he was having this conversation is really just shows you where Katie is in all of this. And then he goes to threatening Chloe. And after that, he goes to threatening Seth. So we found out that the phone was leaked by, I believe, Seth. It sounds like Heather turned the tape over to the team like, she's supposed to. And apparently Seth had requested that recording. So it was sent to Seth, and it is my understanding that it was Seth that released it. And the only reason why Heather said that and told the public, again, this is why I don't like private and, internet VIs, because they're not private. They're very public. And she was getting heat because people believe she leaked the photo or the audio rather, and she didn't. She turned it over to the team, that she used to work for, and the client, Seth Rogers, asked for the work, and they turned the work over to their client. And what that client does was the work that they produce is up to that client. But apparently people were really beating up Heather with her Justice Warrior account, and apparently she took that down. And I thought that was a little unfair. No matter how you feel about somebody, she had a right to do it. It was all above board, all lawful, all legal, and she did not leak that. She actually turned it over to the team. So being mean and nasty to Heather Cohen really isn't necessary. But long story short, I think this was the final straw for everybody in this case. So I want you guys to hear this, because this is the spokesperson basically saying he's had enough. He's going to go ahead and, they're no longer protecting the Proudfoots.
Out here that were upset at me because
and it's this lady right here. I'm sure you guys recognize her.
I hope you'll understand I was doing a job, but there's no protection anymore. If you guys want to go all in on him, you do what you want to do, because there is no partnership anymore. It's over. It's done.
Partnership's over.
That Chris Proudfoot had with one of our PIs, and that phone call was recorded. It was shared within a few members of our team, and somehow or another it got out, and it was not released by either one of our PIs. Let me be very clear on that. It was not released by me, obviously, because it destroyed everything that I'd been working to.
And I got to be honest with you, Tony. Tony, people have dogged Tony, but he is a good spokesperson, because he never really told us who released the tape, but he made sure everybody was cleared, except one person. Now everybody dogs this man, and I gotta say, this was he told the news spectacularly, in my opinion. I think that was clever.
But what happened is, you guys remember, I'm sure, that Web Sleuth interview where it turned into a train wreck, and
yep.
Chris was on there, Chloe the PI was on there, he was attacking her.
Yep.
She talked about, some documents that she had.
This is another thing, is that Chris has been on all of these female podcasts on YouTube. And he has been very, very nasty to the female podcasters, been very derogatory. We saw him on one of them where he was actually flirting with the girl. Flirting! Most likely with his wife right next to him. I was like, yes! Not a good guy. Not a good guy.
She hadn't released. Chris got mad about that. He was on the phone with Heather, our PI, and he was calling Chloe everything but a white woman.
He called her the C word.
He was disgusting towards her. He threatened Seth on that phone call.
He called her the C word. The one that starts with the C and ends with the T? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm like, And this is the father of a missing boy. The father of a missing boy. I have never. The only time I've ever heard anything like this, honestly, with the language he was using toward Chloe, was Summer Wells. The Summer Wells case. When Don Wells kept going on all those YouTube channels and cussing everybody and calling them the N-word. Remember the N-word? You couldn't even get him to stop using the N-word. It was so offensive.
And it's just been too much. I mean, calling and pranking people while there's a child that's missing, and then, acting like just essentially making fun of an autistic child. I mean, it's one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, and there's just not, there's not any more, there's no more partnership, and there's not going to be. It's,
For those that are just tuning in, this is the spokesperson for Seth Rogers, the biological father, dad for Sebastian Rogers. There's been, a lot of craziness that's been plaguing this case, which is probably why you guys are so interested in this case, right? But the problem is all the drama is coming from one side of the family, and it's unfortunate that the mom and the stepfather are MIA. And this is just such a sad case. He's an autistic 15-year-old boy. He needs his mom for just about everything. He wasn't attached to the internet. He didn't have any friends. And law enforcement seen him go inside their home, but according to his mother, he must have left through the front door without shoes, which he always puts shoes on, between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. before the mom got up. Obviously, sus just on the story. Mom and stepfather not really being the most upstanding parents, didn't search, didn't post flyers, went motorcycle shopping, decided to pack up their camper and go 3.5 hours away. Not stuff that you want to see. Yes, still missing. He's been missing over 2 months and never been heard or seen again. So this is the spokesperson for the biological father saying, we're done. The gloves are off. We're no longer going to protect them. They've acted like piece of crap because they are pieces of crap, basically,
Our thing with Seth, and they can do their thing, and if they want to shoot arrows, then that's fine, but we're not going to sit here and take arrows anymore and not shoot them back. We've had it. We're done. Seth's done. I checked with him 3 times today to make sure that this is where he was at, and this is 100% where he's at, and we're not going back.
So that's related to all of the drama that's been going on and plaguing this case. It's with every bit of it. So the father, he's been really taking a lot of blows from the public because everybody's trying to say, why are you working with this narcissistic pig? Why are you putting us all through this? Why do we have to get along with this narcissistic pig? Basically, but, they're saying no more. They can't take no more. They're not going to sit here and keep having Chris blame Seth for everything when it really is truly Chris and Katie's behavior that's bringing the heat on them, not Seth's behavior. And that's what they're trying to make Seth believe. They're trying to make Seth believe that he's honestly the one creating the circus that's pointing the finger at both Katie and Chris. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So there you guys have it. It sounds like any type of olive branch that would have been provided to Katie and Chris has now officially been revoked by Seth and Seth Rogers and camp and team, And I have to think that it's a long time coming, but, Chris and Katie have had over 60 days to start doing the right thing. And they still choose each and every day to go hide like cowards and hide away from the world, their son, their friends, and the rest of Sebastian's family. You can't dispute those facts because those are what's staring us right in front of our face. And when have we ever seen a mother run 3.5 hours away from her only child? So something to think about, y'all, but it sounds like the olive branch has been cut down. So we'll see you soon. I'll keep you guys posted if I hear of any more breaking news, but God bless you. Have an amazing Saturday, by the way. I'm cooking grits. That's why you see me walking around like you don't normally do. It's because I'm waiting for my grits. I make homemade red-eye grits. So that's what I'm waiting on. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment for your favorite content creator. Yours truly, me.